taking care of business for the Toronto Raptors tonight. And that's an understatement. As they beat the Gordon Hayward-less, Lonzo Ball-less. I was trying to figure a way of saying that differently, but it just kind of works that way. They beat those Hornets 114-99 at Scotiabank Arena tonight, as they should have. But for the love of God, it should not have taken a fourth quarter where you win by 17 to win this game. The Raptors were trailing through three quarters. Yes, they're only down two at the end of three, but they don't have Gordon Hayward or Lonzo Ball. That shouldn't be happening. And let's go all the way back to the first quarter, where I was just, all you could do was shake your head. Because the team just didn't look serious. They didn't look like they gave a damn. And honestly, for the most part, they didn't really look like it all game long. Even the fourth quarter, where they're getting big shots and the crowd's losing it, they weren't really jacked up. And look, I get it. You're playing Charlotte without any main guys. You're basically playing a G League team in Terry Rozier. Well, I guess they have a couple okay players, right? I think PJ Washington's not a bad player. I like the looks of young Brandon Miller. But really, that's about it. And let's be honest here. Everybody else would be off the bench or, riding the bench on a decent team. But anyways, I get it why the Raptors weren't all that emotional during this game. You're supposed to win this game. And even with the win, the Raptors are 4 games over 500. They're 11-15. It's just, it doesn't feel great. But let's break down this game anyways, because that's what I'm here to do. First quarter, I understand Darko's mentality of, getting Scottie out first and then getting him out there with the bench unit at some point in the, latter half of the first quarter or second quarter, right? I get that. But in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game, the Raptors have 4 or 5 turnovers and Dennis Schroeder has 3 of them. It was an awful start to the game for Dennis Schroeder. And yet Scottie is still the first guy to come off the court. Right? It didn't make any sense to me. And then coming out of a timeout, you get slaughtered, right? You're up 9-7, and they go on a 9-0 run or something like that afterwards. It was just ugly to watch in the first quarter. And then they finally take Dennis out, and it kind of settles. Now, his game did progress, and he was better as the game went along. But you scored 19 points in the first quarter. 19! I think the first half alone, the Raptors had 11 turnovers. They ended up with 17 in the game. Against a team like Charlotte, that just can't happen. It just cannot happen. So you were down 8 after one quarter of play, 27-19. And at one point, you were down 11. It was an ugly start to this game. And even the second quarter, sure, the Raptors won it by 4. But it still didn't feel good. You're still trailing 4 at the break. You're down by 4 at halftime to this team. And even in the third quarter, right? You're waiting for that big push, and the Raptors offense start to get going. They win the quarter 31-29, but you're still down 2 at the end of 3. And we're all just hoping and praying that Scottie hits his fourth quarter Scottie Barnes. Now, luckily, you got some energy from the bench unit. Gary started making shots. He was making shots most of the night, but he had the floater going today, and he knocked down some threes. Precious Achiuwa gave you some energy off the bench to start the fourth quarter. And then Scottie and Pascal followed, and they closed this game really strong. So you win the fourth quarter 35-18. Where was that through the first 3? If you came out in the first quarter and did that and then just cruised the rest of the way, no one's going to be complaining. Everyone's going to be like, well, they came out strong. They landed the first punch. They never looked back. Now it's like they were putrid for 3 quarters, and thank God they had their great fourth quarter, as they do quite often. But you beat a really bad team. So sure, a win is a win, and Scottie Barnes hitting career high in rebounds is nice, but my God, this was a painful watch for most of the game. Let's get to these team stats. They shot 44% from the field. The Raptors shot 51% from the field. Raptors shot 28% from 3. Thank God you're playing Charlotte without 2 of their main guys. They shot 25% from 3-point range. And Scary Terry didn't go absolutely insane like he did in the last game against the Raptors. What did he do in that last game? The one in Charlotte. He only had 21? But he had 13 dimes to go along with it. So I guess there you go. But the Raptors shot 82% from the free throw line. They didn't miss. They were 13 of 13 from the line. Raptors out-rebounded them 51-36. And the offensive glass, 15-10. 30 assists for the Raptors today. It's great. You know, it's nice. Now, the turnovers was a big factor. You were -6 in that category. And it just, like, early on in the game, in the first half, it was ugly. Biggest lead of the game for Charlotte was 11, and I believe that was in the first quarter or the early goings of the second? One of the two. And the Raptors' biggest lead, 15, because that's the way they closed this game strong and won by 15. Now let's get to the player stats. All right, for the Toronto Raptors, and Pascal Siakam and Scottie Barnes obviously led the charge in this game. Pascal 27, 8 and 8, 11 of 16 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, only 1 3, but missed it. But see, this is the thing. Scottie and him only combined for 3 threes taken. And you know why I like that? Because no one can guard you in the paint. Get in there, bully the crap out of them, and get buckets. And they both shot over 50% because they dominated the paint. 11 of 16 for Pascal, 5 of 6 in the line, missed the 1 3, had a steal in the ball game, +2. Scottie Barnes, 22, 17, and 7. Career high, ties his career high, 17 rebounds, had 7 assists, should have had more. It's just the inability for this team to make threes. It's incredible. He could have had another triple-double tonight. 7 of 14 from the field, was perfect 7 of 7 from the line, 1 of 2 from distance, had 3 blocks, and probably should have had a couple more. Like, there were a couple that were really close and they called goaltending. But 3 blocks for Scottie B today, and a +22 on the floor. Isn't it beautiful when the start of the fourth quarter with Scottie in the bench unit doesn't cave in and die? Scottie doesn't have like a -20 rating at that point. They played well today, and he was a +22. I thought Scottie, the shot wasn't really falling. He didn't really have a mid-range game today. Obviously only took 2 threes, but he was just dominating in the paint. So a great night again for Scottie. Him and Pascal worked really well together. I know that's been a talking point for Raptor fans, but how those two guys cannot work together. Well, they did it. I get it, you're playing Charlotte, but they did a great job working together, combined for 49 points. Only missed 1 free throw combined. What the hell is that? 12 for 13 or something like that from the free throw line? Yeah, 12 of 13 from the free throw line. They did their job today. So good stuff from them. Who's next? Jakob Poeltl. Yeah, he was struggling early on. Nick Richards, for God's sakes, was dominating Jakob Poeltl. 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Only played 15 minutes today. He took 2 shots, made them both. Had 4 turnovers in 15 minutes. It was a -12. Yak wasn't good. He just wasn't good. And every time Jakob has a game like this, every Raptor fan cringes about losing that first round pick last year. And that's the only reason every Raptor fan really wants to tank this year, is because that pick is this season or it's in future drafts, and it's just a pain in the rear. And then have Yak go out there and do basically nothing today. It sucks. It really does. Dennis Schroeder, after the really slow start, 13 points, didn't have a rebound, 5 assists, 4 of 6 shooting, knocked down 2 of 2 from the line, 3 of 5 from three-point range, but those 3 turnovers in the early goings of this game was a painful look, but obviously settled it down, was a +12 on the floor. OG, the shot was really not falling, 5, 2, and 2 on 2 of 10 shooting, missed all 5 threes that he took. That's tough to watch against a team like Charlotte, +3 on the floor. And then your bench, wait, Gary Trent had 10 boards? What? Okay, I didn't realize he was that. I knew the shot was falling for Gary, but 22, 10, and 3. He had a double-double. 9 of 17 from the field, was 4 of 10 from 3, had a steal in the game, was a +25. Isn't it beautiful when you can have a guy coming off the bench that can score and that can shoot the 3? It's gorgeous. He knocked down 4 threes, and the Raptors starting unit knocked down 4 threes. They made 8. He made half of them off the bench. Thank God for that. Precious Achiuwa only played 17 minutes, but I thought he was really good today. 12, 7, and 1, 5 and 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. What else is new? Missed the 1 3 he took, had a steal in the game. +12 on the floor. I thought the energy was good on defense from him, and I really thought he was just finding loose balls. That one in the fourth quarter where it was kind of a loose ball, and he just grabs and goes right up for this two-handed slam. It's a really good play from him. A really nice play from Precious Achiuwa. And look, you won. Great. What can you do next game? Because you're not playing Charlotte. you're not playing Atlanta, okay? You have the Denver Nuggets at Scotiabank Arena at 7:30 on Wednesday. How is Jakob going to fare against Nikola Jokic? We'll see. If you remember last year, Scottie Barnes actually had some time against Nikola Jokic and did an outstanding job. I believe it was in the fourth quarter. He shut him down completely. It was a really, really good game for Scottie last season for the Raptors. But I'm curious, obviously no Nick Nurse, so it's going to be a totally different scheme. I'm very curious to see how that goes on Wednesday at 7:30 against the Denver Nuggets. But we'll see. Let's be honest. We'll see how this one goes. Watch, they'll beat the crap out of them, right? You barely squeak by the Hornets and the Hawks a few times, and then you beat the snot out of Denver. Just probably the way it's going to go, but we'll see. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the fourth quarter to this game, hit the like button because everything else stunk. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like from today's game for the Toronto Raptors? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok. All that stuff is down below, so follow up there if you're not done so already, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow night as they host the New York Rangers at Scotiabank Arena at 7 o'clock. And as for the Raptors, like we talked about, they're back in action on Wednesday as they host the Denver Nuggets at 7:30. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the fourth quarter today. Talk to you guys then.